Hey, it's Kim. Thanks for tuning in today. We're going to be doing my August currently inked. So, it is actually July 31st, so, you know, right on time. Not too late. Could have done this earlier, but we're here now. So, we're going to do August currently inked, and I've picked out my inks, picked out my pens. I have not filled all of my pens. I recently got back from vacation not too long ago, so you know, life has been happening, but before I went away I did narrow down all the colors and I did clean them out. So they've all been waiting for me to get back so that we could, you know, fill them in. So here's my handy dandy ink journal, and I'm going to set up this page for August. Alright, so that is the title for my page, and I have here before me all of the inks and pens. Like I said, I'm a little hesitant because I'm looking at the lighting, and anytime I use this darker background I feel like it washes everything else out. Okay, that lighting is a bit better. So we will get started from the top. So each month there are 5 pens that I ink. For the 5 main pens I will be using throughout the course of the month. They all have different purposes, and I usually house them in this pen case from Galen Leather. This still actually has a couple of pens from last month currently inked. So I will be swapping those out as we get everything filled. But right now, just want to make sure I have everything set up, and I think I do. So what I did do previously is go through my ink journal to see which colors I wanted to use for the month. And a lot of the colors do take inspiration from the Sterling Ink subscription kit for August. So that's kind of where we started from. So I'm trying to remember though, and I should have written this down, like which pen I intend to use, which pen I intend to use with which ink. I don't remember specifying. Or I'm sorry, I did specify, but I don't remember what I decided. I know where that one's going. Do I know where that one's going? I think I do. Okay, I think no I don't. I'm a mess. I think I know what I'm doing. Okay, so I believe I know which inks are going into which pens, and I will start by telling you that I've done the easiest one first, and the easiest one is the pen that I use for my daily planning. And that one is the easiest because, as I mentioned, it is July 31st, but I had to set up the weekly layout before the start of this week. So it's Monday, but I still had to set up the weekly layout using my pen for August. So the one that I'm choosing for my daily writing or my daily planner is going to be my Pilot Vanishing Point in matte black. I truly do love this pen. Like, it's hard for me to stop using it. It's hard for me to not reach for it. So I was really excited to pull it out for this month. I actually thought that I would pair it with my other favorite ink that I like to have in this pen, which is Diatramentis Document ink in black. But I decided to go a little bit, you know, unpredictable, maybe. Is it really unpredictable? I don't know. And choose a different ink. So this month I am using Diatramentis Plum. It's not a document ink, so that means it's not waterproof, not like water fast or whatever you call it, but it really is a very pretty ink. And I'm going to give you a close-up, of course. This is a fine point Pilot Vanishing Point. Oh, I did this wrong. See? I should have looked back at how I laid out the other pages, but here we are. Alright, so that is the first ink, and this one is going to be the ink I'm using in my daily planner. So for the entire month, I am using the converter that comes with a Pilot Vanishing Point, the Con 40 I think it is, and it's very small. It doesn't hold a whole lot of ink, so I'll probably need to refill this maybe like twice throughout the course of the month. I'm okay with that. Before, when I was using this pen just as my daily writer for like several months on end, I would actually make it a habit of refilling the ink every 2 weeks or so. It was just something that I wrote down on my task list, and I just refilled the ink. So that kept it, you know, always topped up, and I didn't have to worry about running out of ink, because I do know that this holds a limited quantity of ink. So that's the one I'm using there. And I just turned my fan on, so you might hear that. I mean, you know, it's summer. So I make no apologies. But the next pen that I have, and I knew that I would be using this one. So I think I mentioned it in maybe my last Currently Inked video, that for certain pens that I've had, they have always, since I've had them, had the same ink in it. And this is one of them. I feel like I've never put a different ink in this pen. That's a TWSBI Eco, and the color is Jadeite. It was a special edition, and I think I've had the same color ink in it since I purchased it. I'm looking for, yes, I purchased it December 10th, 2021, and I've had this same exact ink, which is Sailor Studio 162, and that's here. I've had it in this pen for the entire time that I've owned the pen, and I just, of course, keep refilling. So I knew that that's the ink I wanted to use, because I feel like it goes really well with some of these dusty blues and kind of grayish colors and grayish tones that are in this kit. So this one is going to act as my highlight color for the month. And this is what I'll use in the margins on my dailies, or to add little notes to my monthly layout for things that I want to stand out. So that is the purpose of this one. And like I said, the ink is Sailor Ink Studio, and then the color is number 162, and the pen is my TWSBI Eco, and this is actually a 1.1 stub nib, so it's pretty thick, and I really do love the way it writes. So it works extremely well to act as like a highlight color or things that'll stand out. And it looks really good, I think, along with the Diatramentus Plum, which I didn't say, but the Diatramentus Plum is kind of like a dark teal, like a very, very deep teal, close to black. And if this is not your first time here on a Currently Inked video with me, you will know that for my daily pen, I like to use something that pretty much looks black. So that's what I'm using for that. So the next pen that I have in my lineup for, oh, and I didn't even mention, I have all of this stuff here from when I cleaned out my pens. I haven't put things back together yet, but we'll do that as I go. So the next pen is the one that I typically will use for my journal. So which one is that going to be? So I did this color and this color, and now we have this one, and this one, and this one. Okay, so I do know which pen I want, or which ink I want to put in this next pen, and this next pen is also a TWSBI Eco, and it's in a cement gray color, and I'm going to be inking this up with a shimmer ink. And this is from the Diamine 2022 Ink Vent Calendar. It is Dusted Truffle. Where am I? It's Dusted Truffle, if you're interested. And this one is going to be used as my journaling pen for the month. So these bottles are really tiny, so it's actually not very easy to fill this up. But I'm gonna try. Well, that kind of reaches. To kind of tilt it a bit. I don't think I need this like super full. Even though I did fill that pretty full. I don't need it super full for the month. That's that one. I'll cap that while I put this away so I don't make any mistakes. I don't spill anything. Like I said, this is a shimmer ink. Very pretty. And it's not looking very shimmery. Get flowing. Okay. So again, what did I say? So this is Diamine, and the color is Dusted Truffle. And the pen is my TWSBI Eco Cement. Oh, that's what I missed from this entry up here. I forgot to read the color. This is a medium nib. And that's why I chose to put a shimmer ink into this pen. So here's the color of the Diamine Dusted Truffle. I feel like it's not doing for me as much as I thought it would be doing. I'll show you the swatch that I have in here. Where is it? So this is what it looks like here on my ink swatches, and I feel like it's just giving a little bit more on this page. And you can kind of see the shimmer, or at least I'm trying to help you see the shimmer. But so be it. I'll be using this one for my journaling for the month. So the next pen I'll be using for the month of August is going to be this one. It's going to be a Pilot Kakuno. And again, I need to put all the pieces together. So, oh, and I have this little bit of Colorverse brunch date left. So I'm going to have to fill this up with a syringe, which sometimes I'm a little lazy to do just because I don't want to like clean anything out. I don't want to clean the syringe out later. That's honestly not a big deal. And I've gotten like a ton of air in there along with ink. All that ink in there, and I probably, like now that I'm thinking about it, should have done this at the start or before I started the video so that all of the ink could move down into the feed and it would be ready for me. So we might need to take a little bit of time while the ink gets all the way into the feed so I can actually start writing with it. And I'll test it out on my handy dandy swatch page. Okay, so it looks like everything is all the way down into the feed. And there are quite a few fans of this color. And I have never been a fan of this color. I think because I feel like you have to, I don't know, it can't be used in too fine of a nib. And as I say that, I'm using this in a, is this an EF? In an extra fine nib. I honestly didn't intend to do that. I do appreciate it more when it's in a nib that is a lot more bold. But it's kind of like a coral sort of color. And the pen is a Pilot Kukuno. Kukuno Clear. And this is an EF nib. Yeah, even writing with it now, I don't know, doesn't feel very smooth. I don't know if Colorverse is a drier kind of ink, but I don't hate it. Just not my preferred feeling. So that is the ink that I'll be using for my 5-year, my Hobonichi 5-year journal that I use for a family journal. It's in the A6 size. And then the next pen that I'll be using for my 5th purpose, which is what is it? Oh, it's my business planner. So I'll be using this Kaweco, and I need to fill it, which I should have thought about this. I'm thinking I'm gonna try and fill the converter and then put the converter onto here because this is very small. But then again, I probably can't do that. I should use a syringe. Maybe not. I'm being a little lazy, so don't do like me. Do what, you know, makes most sense for your pens, for you to have the most success with them. Don't do the lazy way. So I was able to fill it. Pilot Kukunos are like a pocket, not Pilot Kukunos, Kawecos are like a pocket type of pen, so very small. Therefore, the converter that's in it is also quite small. And this is another pen that I had always had Pilot Irushizuku Konpeki in this pen for the entire time that I owned it, that I have owned it. But I decided to switch it up. Not a lot. It's also a Pilot Irushizuku. Always get tripped up on that. Also a Pilot Irushizuku ink. It's not Konpeki though. I'm using, if I can write, Asagao, which is also a very bright blue color, similar to Konpeki, but really pretty. Bright blue, fun kind of color. So that's the one I'm using for my business planner for this month. And this pen is a Kaweco Sport, and it's iridescent pearl. I don't know. That's how I'll abbreviate it, and this is a fine nib. So that's the one I'll be using for my business planner for the month. So here are all 5 colors that I'll be using for my 5 main fountain pens for the month of August. Pretty straightforward. I don't think anything is like a shocker. Nothing is a wild card for sure, but I'm sure I'll be extremely happy with using all of these colors throughout the month. I am interested to see how I'm going to feel about Colorverse Brunch Date. We'll see. We will see, especially in this extra fine nib, if it's going to feel too dry to me, if it's going to feel like I can't see the color as well as I'd like to. I don't know. We'll see where the wind blows. But those are the 5 pens that I'll be using for August. And I'll go ahead, since like I said, today is July 31st, so I'm going to switch out all of my pens from July, and I'll pop in all of my pens that I'll be using for August in the order that I have them there on the page. Right? Yeah. That one, this one, and that one. So I am officially all set and ready to go for August when the month starts tomorrow. If you guys have any questions about any of the inks that I've shown, about any of the pens that I've talked about, feel free to leave them down in the comments below, and of course I'll get right back to you as soon as I possibly can. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next one.